Welcome back to the VHS Vault. I am one of your hosts, VHS Chase. Next to me, of course, is the great Jason Roy Gaston, and we are tonight continuing in our Aliens and Predators retrospective series. And tonight we hit on the 2018 The Predator.
The Predator, yes.
The Predator. We have to be very specific and make sure we really land on the.
Da Predator.
So,
Da Predator. The Predator.
It's a fairly recent film, and which you hadn't seen. Which
no, this
honestly
was
very surprised me quite a lot.
Yes, this film took my virginity. It was a brand new experience for me.
What is it about that period? Because you hadn't seen 2010 Predators either. Was it a franchise at that point you're like, I'm just not interested?
Quite honestly, I've always loved the Predator movies, and there was really no reason why I never watched them. It was just they came and went so quickly that they just kind of disappeared from my wheelhouse altogether. And anytime I saw any indication of them anywhere, I thought, oh, I need to watch that one day. And that's as far as my brain got.
Fair enough. Well, you did get to see it. Now,
yes.
I myself spent money to go and see this film, hard-earned money to see this film theatrically. You didn't need to. What were your impressions of The Predator?
So, I had heard things, not very good things. I will say I think this movie's largely got an unearned reputation as being one of the worst movies ever, whenever it's not. That being said, it's not a good movie. It's just not that great. And it makes lots of missteps with the predators and everything. And I'll just get into the specifics later. But right now, if Predator and Predator 2 are up at 9 and 10, and Predators is down at about a 7, this one's down around a 3 or a 2, somewhere around there.
This, for all intents and purposes, is a blockbuster disaster in my mind. This film was designed to try to capture opening weekend. It's very clear what they've done, the attempt from the studio. And honestly, I love me Shane Black. I love Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I even like Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3 is a very underrated movie. Every time somebody says it's the worst, I just want to slap them.
Yeah, but this is undeniably bad from a script level. I think this is a second or third draft at best.
Wow.
Because some of the ideas in this, like, you need to center a whole film around it. And the fact of the matter is we've got 5, Jason, plot lines going on in this film, and none of them I care about at all.
I have to agree. And the fact that you said this is the 4th or 5th draft just made me think that they finished writing this and they actually said the words, well, this is better. I just did not care. I did not care about anybody in this movie. And I'm going to straight up say it. The Thomas Jane is a terrific actor. He's pretty much wasted because they have him playing a role that you just can't take seriously. Alfie Allen, a terrific actor, completely wasted. Keegan-Michael Key, a terrific actor and comedy actor, completely wasted with terrible dialogue. The Boyd Holbrook is also in this movie, and Jacob Tremblay.
Jacob Tremblay.
Jacob Tremblay is such a fantastically talented young man. And he is the only one in this movie who I was just like, yeah, I hope the predators don't kill him. Because I felt bad for him. I don't feel bad for him, but, as a teacher, I'm drawn to kids on the spectrum. And I'm just like, I want to see this kid succeed. I'm also going to say Jacob Tremblay absolutely shook my emotional core in Dr. Sleep.
Yes.
Because I still sometimes whenever I try to sleep at night, I close my eyes and I think of that scene and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, why did I watch that movie? But yeah, this movie was just everywhere. It was in 12 different places, and I didn't care about a single one of them. Honestly think that if they'd taken this story and pared it down to just the one about the kid getting his hand on alien technology and making it kind of like a really violent version of ET, that would have been fine. You know,
It would have worked.
how does a predator deal with that situation of, well, this is obviously a child who is not inherently dangerous, but he unwittingly has his hands on dangerous technology. How would a predator deal with that? Would he just blow the kid's head off and take his stuff, or would that sense of honor kick in there? I also have to say, I think this movie did the biggest disservice to the predators as a species and as a force of nature that I have ever seen, and I did not even think it was possible. Why? Why, in the name of Zeus, God, Jehovah, Allah, and all of the deities up there, why in the world did they subtitle the predators? Why? I don't need to know what they're saying. We've never seen what they're saying. Jesus, why? Why?
Well, I think you tapped into
Why?
something. Yeah. I think you tapped into something really interesting. Is I think within that, I mentioned there are 5 plot lines going on in this. So we can count them out if you like. You've got the plot line of the boy, you've got the plot line of the PTSD soldiers, which, like I said, if it was a film just about them and we got more time with them developing character, a little bit less quippy, there's something interesting there. You've got that plot line. You've got the Predator plot line, like with the fact that he's dealing with a whole thing with his planet. You've then got the Bold Holbrook, the main guy's plot line, and I forget the 5th one now, but there are
the Super Predator.
multiple things that are just weaving in and out that makes no sense to me. Some of the key things which I think we expect from a Predator movie that we weren't delivered straight away is there's no mystery in this film whatsoever. Even though they pumped it up, there's a big mystery in this film. There is no mystery. We know everything that's going on straight off the bat. And if you're trying to say that Super Predator is a mystery, that is when the moment that happens, this film, although at that point had fallen off the rails for me anyway, that is when you're insulting the audience. I'm literally, as a Predator fan, offended at that moment specifically.
Well, there is a giant mystery with the Super Predator. That mystery being who the hell thought that this was a good enough plot line to put into this movie. The impression that I got is that there were 4 or 5 different scripts, and they took all 4 or 5 of them and smushed them together, thinking, oh, well, take this, and this, smush them together. We got ourselves a good Predator movie now. And no, they didn't. They didn't have a good Predator movie.
Olivia Munn. Hey, look, I got it. You know, she became famous in the 2000s being on G3 as a host. I remember that back in the day.
My gosh, that's where I saw her. I was trying to remember where I'd seen her at, and that's it. Wow, that's
she's awful in this film, and I don't know if it's her alone, if it's her ability or anything. But what I picked up on, Jason, is every adult in this freaking movie has to be quippy. Or has to be smart and kind of in the know. And it just doesn't work. Like the group of soldiers all kind of, they've got the quips here and there, they're back and forward. Olivia Munn has to be the most confident, smartest person in the room. And even the wife, do you know what I mean? She's like, oh, I love Yvonne Strahovski. I absolutely. Good Aussie girl, by the way. Comes from Melbourne. Yeah, everybody had to be quippy. And Sterling K. Brown, who I love, mate, his character thing is he likes to chew on mints. And that's his character development. And then just try to sound like he's again quippy and with it. Horrible.
I honestly had to rewind the movie at one point whenever he met his fate, because my first thought was, they did not actually just do that, did they?
Yeah.
Oh my God, they did. That's
Yeah,
the dumbest thing I've
like
ever
that.
seen.
Yeah, it was, and it could have worked, but I don't know what film, but they thought it was working. I mean, there are big leaps of stupidity in this film that, as an audience, is really like it's almost like the, Shane Black doesn't rate the audience's intelligence. And that's what also I found this the first time ever a Predator film going, I'm offended. I'm not offended at the content. I'm offended at the filmmakers trying to get us to buy into this garbage. I mean, even like the basic concept, Jace, of sending a mask back home. Right. You're this special op guy. You're supposed to be the hero. You send it back to your wife and your autistic son. Nothing, no problems there. It's going to be safe there.
Well, he
And
thought he
if you
was
were,
sending it to a P.O. box. That's why I sent it to the P.O. box, so you wouldn't be in trouble.
that's the line. But even in that logic, Jason, if the government were suspecting that he had taken some sort of tech, they would know his PO box.
Yeah.
Like, it's just dumb.
It's not like they can go to the post office and go, oh, well, we're pretty sure it's in there, but we can't get in there because that's the mail and it's private.
Yeah.
What was really keeping him from just putting on the mask himself and taking the camo and just like disappearing that way?
Yeah. Now you're kind of opening up that thing at the end for me now. I'm thinking,
oh my God, that was so adorable. They actually thought they were getting a sequel.
And like Shane Black has gone, how do we end this film? I'll just steal the major concept that I used for that I was involved in with Iron Man 3. Let's make a Predator Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
Biggest slap to the head.
Oh gosh.
Doesn't this film remind you of, some sort of C-grade licensing deal in a comic book? So you're digging in the back of the comic book store and you see this one-off comic book, and that's this film. And you read it and go, that was garbage. What a hot mess of a standalone comic that was. That's the Predator.
No, I can see that because they're trying to introduce lore that nobody cares about. They're trying to introduce storylines that nobody cares about, and they just can't handle basic character interactions. I was more concerned with what was going to happen to the dog.
Yeah,
I mean seriously, and
they're Predator dogs.
Okay, and did the dog die at the end?
No, I don't believe the dog died.
I didn't think the dog died, but at the end, they have a line where it sounds like the dog died, and I'm just thinking, when did that happen?
No, okay, I'll have to go back and see that again.
If that's the case, then it's poorly directed too. I just don't understand how something could be bungled that badly. Well, I don't care about that. I just want to know what the heck happened to that dog. He was adorable. Especially when they're lobotomized, just like pit bulls. That's the only way you can have one.
A funny little moment that could have worked, but so much hot mess around it, Jace. It's just, nothing. Even the idea of a cute Predator dog done fly with me. Though I will say there is one great thing that came from this movie, and it's not the movie.
There was?
I'm referring to a short film that was released with this movie.
You sent that to me.
Yes, but it was made for the Blu-ray, and it's a little short, wonderfully produced. I think it's fantastic. Stop animation of the Predator Holiday Special, which honestly is the best thing about this whole exercise is that little clip. It's hilariously violent and cute and funny. They worked out what's funny, and it's in this short film.
I still don't understand how Sprinkles lived. To me, that just destroys the credibility of the entire piece. Now, I will tell you what I think the deal is with this movie. If you ever watch the Star Trek movies and you're asked, when was the first indication that something went wrong with that franchise? 9 times out of 10, somebody will say Star Trek V because they tried too hard to make it funny. And I really think that's what went on with this movie. They were trying so hard to turn it into an action comedy for some dang reason. And never once does that work. It shouldn't have worked. I mean, Predator was never supposed to be an action comedy. The comedy comes in spite of the action and the horror, not because of it. And I think that's just a fundamental misunderstanding that Shane Black and whoever the heck wrote this abomination had.
Fred Decker. Shane Black and Fred Decker.
The
Long
same.
time writing partners.
That's not the same guy who
Yeah.
did the Monster Squad, is it?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm so disappointed in him.
Yeah, everybody takes the loss occasionally, and this is definitely Shane Black.
See, he missed a golden opportunity for Predators got nards. Do they, though?
True. I don't know. Maybe that's a definitely a different type of Predator movie, if you know what I mean. So it could be. Nevertheless, like, I'm not alone in thinking this film was hot garbage. You're not alone in feeling this film was hot garbage, because it was received abysmally when it came out. It was not well loved. Every man and his dog who went out opening weekend to see this film, because the hype for this film was pretty good, had decent marketing, discovered what a just garbage this is. So it had a budget of $88 million. It made, the box office return was $160 million, which from simple terms you would go, it made a profit. No, it didn't, because at the time you're focusing distribution deals and marketing, this movie lost money. And honestly, I'm not surprised. But it's a damn shame, isn't it? Because look at the quality of actors we had in this. We listed them before, and we've got some very extremely talented people just completely wasted in a dumb concept. In many ways, Jason, I thought this was the franchise killer, this film.
I have to agree. At least it should have been, but it wasn't. Somehow or another, it survived, as the Predator often does. Yeah, I'm just looking at this.
And without getting into it too much,
it
hold came at the back door for everybody. Nobody was expecting this film.
Yeah, I just realized Jake Busey's in this movie. I completely forgot.
Oh, yes, of course.
I wonder if his character's supposed to be related to Gary Busey from Predator 2. I wish they'd thrown that in, like, yeah, my daddy died in Los Angeles in 1997 because of these people. It was crazy. And teeth are sticking out about that far. It was crazy. My goodness.
Well, this film, funnily enough, in its timeline of this series, is set between the events of Predator 2 and Predators.
That's an odd choice.
Which I don't understand why it's there, but that's what the official line is. It's set between those two, according to the director and writer.
Huh.
So,
I do have to say, I did rather enjoy the fact that the governments of the world are on top of it from the very beginning. Like, oh yeah, it's one of these things again. We need to surround it. We need to capture it. We want its technology. Because I like turning it around and making the predator the prey. But this movie never really capitalizes on it, because every time the predator is taken prisoner or cornered, the predator just like slices and dices his way through things easily. I mean, watching a predator fight humans in this movie is like watching somebody who is vastly skilled at a video game play on easy mode.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, where is the sport in this exactly? Why are we even coming here? It would be like going to a planet full of Care Bears and just like slaughtering them all. It's just not. It's not that great of a hunt. And I know that that's not the reason why the predators were there, but it seems like it's that way all the time.
Yeah. Well, I absolutely agree with you. When you go back and talk about some of the fundamentals this movie is missing, it's tension that this movie misses. See, in the original Predator, the comedy is a release valve for the unrelenting tension that as an audience we're going through with that film. All you've done here is completely extract any of the tension. And we've just got violence for the sake of violence, which doesn't land because there's no emotional stakes behind it anyway. You know, we're forced to go, well, these PTS guys, they're all bonded, they're a crew, so we got to support them, even though we know they're all going to die basically anyway. There's just nothing to hold on to with this film. It
I
was such a disappointment. And I've given this movie more than one chance, Jason. I've watched this film 3 times, and each time going into it, hopeful that I could see something in it that maybe I was missing before. But it ain't there.
I did think it was kind of funny how all these characters had plot armor until like the last 20 minutes of the movie. And then they all started dying like bugs on a windshield in just the most easy, stupid, hilarious ways. I mean,
Throwaway,
yeah,
dismissive.
Nettle's death, I was laughing at it
Yeah.
because all he had to do was just get down. And he had several seconds to do it. And he just didn't. He just stood there like, oh no, what do I do? You know, what's his name? Boyd Holbrook is just like, do what I'm doing, get down. Oh, I don't understand, get down. Explain it to me, get down. Can you draw me a picture? Oh no, my legs. And it's the same thing with oh gosh, I don't even remember his name. Nebraska was the same way. It's like, dude, just drop. That's all you have to do. That's all you got to do.
At that point, the script has no care about these characters. They're just an obstacle because the film's trying to go to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
Which I don't know where that is. I will say, though, you know, you're talking about how there's 5 different plot lines. A movie just focusing on the government and the predators alone is a great concept for a movie.
Oh, yeah. I would love
that idea that you mentioned about the predator becoming the prey could really, you know, you could be something there if they simplified it. But this whole third act was reshot, Jason. They did a test run of this movie, and then they had to go back and do massive reshoots, including the original actor for this film wasn't supposed to be Boyd Holbrook. It was supposed to be Benicio del Toro, who had signed on for the film, because of delays, had to bow out of the film.
That's crazy.
And I'm glad Benicio didn't end up doing it for his sake.
I'm pretty sure he is too. I don't know. The whole idea of turning the predator into the prey, to me, I think that they've tried so many times that they keep introducing like the super predator or like the other tribe of predators who are more powerful than the predator. Now it just seems like they didn't just miss the boat, they torpedoed the boat and watched the boat sink to the bottom of the bay. I just don't know if that would work anymore.
When is Hollywood going to learn, Jason, that to make a franchise, you don't need to discover the background and reveal everything about a villain?
No.
We've been doing this for decades now. Going all the way back to like even Darth Vader's a great example. Do we really need to know about him being a little whiny kid on Tatooine? We didn't really need this. Do we need to know about the predator social structure and how this is? We don't.
We don't need subtitles.
There's so many films like that. Did we need to know about the shape and the background of the shape? That's how we got the name Michael Myers. No, we didn't. We didn't need to know that. It was way better when we didn't know that stuff. And it is a failing, and it's something that's really frustrates me in movies when they do that now. Oh, we've got to flesh out. No, we don't.
No, we don't. We can leave them mysterious.
Look at The Dark Knight, right?
Yeah.
If you want to kind of do that, do it like The Dark Knight, where the Joker lied about he would tell these stories, but we didn't know they were true or not. Meaning his origin could have come from anywhere.
You want to know how I got these scars? I was in a musical once with Lady Gaga.
But yeah, look, honestly, this is, to me, I hate this film. Like, I do. I hate it. I hate the film. I'm not going to change my mind on it. This is the one Predator movie in the franchise that for me is significantly lower grade than any others, including Predators.
Are we counting the Alien versus Predator movies? Because I got one that's
no, we're not.
I'm just making sure.
I said Predator films.
No, I got you, and I agree. This is the worst one, and I don't know if I would go as far as to say I hate this movie, because I honestly just don't care about this movie. I just look at it and think, wow, that was a misfire and dumb, and I'm going to forget about it in 6 months. That's pretty much where I'm
Yeah,
at.
yeah. Well, but with all this disaster this film was, and it was box office wise, critically wise, all that, sometimes it creates an environment when if you're just over in the little corner working away somewhere and you're not raising attention, sometimes you can come back even stronger. And that will lead us, and that's not giving away too much, into our next film of the Predator series, the surprising film that nobody knew was coming, Prey.
Yeah, I really like this movie. Oh, so nice, so good. I just love how it shook everything up, changed the setting, and just made everything old new again. But we'll talk about that next time.
We'll definitely talk about that next time. But before we get there to Prey, Jason, it's your turn.
Oh
You've
yes.
picked out a movie this week
Oh,
because
I have to,
it's your turn.
I have to put us into the mood. Hold on. It's snowing now. Okay, so
Ah,
yeah. Um, the holiday season is on the way, and as a result, I have chosen an Xmas movie. And I hope you all enjoy it because it's about a jolly man who comes to our house every day to bring you
Elf
big, solid bags of pain. Ladies and gentlemen, our next movie is Krampus.
Krampus. All right. Yeah, I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
You're gonna enjoy
I
this. The
I
same.
love
The,
old mythology in the Saint Nicholas mythology, and this comes from, this is a Norway kind of that part of the world origin, isn't it?
I'm
Of
not
this
sure
character
which. I'm not sure which part of the world it comes from,
country.
but yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. But yeah, this is it's gonna be really fun. It's from the same creative team, if I remember right, as Gremlins, and it's definitely got that same sense
Okay.
of humor. I don't think it's quite as.
Wow.
It's not as good as Gremlins, but it's definitely got that black sense of humor about it that I really think you'll enjoy. It's
Okay.
a
Wow. You kind of
flawed
got me there.
Christmas. It's a flawed Christmas classic, in my opinion.
Fantastic. Well, honestly, in my head, when I'm thinking about the movie, I'm thinking this very low budget, dreary, depressing, blood and honey type of Winnie the Pooh blood and honey type of film. So I'm glad to hear it's a bit better quality than that. So I
All
look
I
forward
got to
to
say
checking
about
it out.
that is gingerbread men.
All right. Okay. Well, that's what we'll be doing, which is great. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking out the Krampus. I'm glad I finally was able to introduce you to this piece of crap movie because now you've ticked it off your list.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate
You're a
it.
little bit less for having seen this, so
Everything is worse now.
well, we're getting there. Now, guys, next year, by the end of January, we'll be done with our Aliens and Predators franchise, and we're currently open to suggestion what next big franchise retrospective series we will take on next. So do that in the comments. But Jason is going to tell you how you can support the channel, keep this show going, and enjoy all the goodness that is us.
Yes, if you care to keep this channel going, please visit the video description below and join our Patreon. For as little as $5 a month or more, you could support all of this dumb content that we vomit and diarrhea out into YouTube, or you can become a channel member by visiting our channel's main page. It's short, it's sweet, it's easy, and just like us, it's cheap.
Yeah, I got to agree. All right, guys, we'll see you next time on the VHS Vault.